For this project, what we're going to be doing is creating a selective coloring design. And so what that is basically a grayscale photo that has one color in particular that stands out. This is a common technique that's used in wedding photography and also works really well for sports teams. So we're going to be using an image of Michael Jordan. This is a public domain photo, so it's available for anybody to use. I've already got it downloaded. I have it linked for you in the description as well as in the project. So what we're going to do is we're going to switch to Photopea, and we're going to go to File. We're going to open up that document. And so for me, I have it saved in my graphics folder and then in the August folder for this as I record this. We're going to select it, click open, and you're going to see that we have a picture of Michael Jordan right here. And so what we're going to do is we are going to do this two different ways. So the first way is destructive, and we're going to not do it all the way, but sort of demonstrate the process. And so destructively means that a change that you make is hard to recover from. So for example, I could right click on this and I could duplicate the layer, and then I could go into my layers right here, or rather image adjustments, and then I could go black and white. So I make this top layer black and white, hit OK. Then I could take my eraser tool right here, which I could get by pressing the letter E on my keyboard, right here, the eraser tool. And I could start erasing that top layer to reveal the color beneath. But the problem is, if I accidentally erase, Michael Jordan's arm right here, and I get, not the red of the jersey, but I get the skin tones, I can't really unerase. And so that's destructive editing. It's not a great approach. So instead, what we're going to do, I'm going to use my history panel right here. I'm going to go back to where we started, open, and I'm going to add what's called an adjustment layer. So I'm going to go to layers, I'm going to go to new adjustment layer, black and white. It has the same effect, but you'll notice right here that the layer right here looks a little bit different. I have the adjustment layer right here that's making it black and white, but then next to it I have this little white rectangle, and that is creating a mask that's representing a mask. So anything in white has that effect, and then anything in black, if I grab my paintbrush right here and I click on the mask, if I press D on my keyboard to get the default colors and then X in order to make white and black right here, if I make black my foreground color, I can start effectively erasing, but really what it's doing is it's masking out that adjustment layer. So it's not going to be showing that adjustment. So right here, if I didn't want the red of the armband, actually I do want the red of the armband, I think that looks kind of good, but let's say I hit his arm right here, I can just switch right here back to white, and this is going to add that effect back in. And so now what I can do is use the bracket keys on my keyboard to adjust the size of my brush so I can get into this detailed area right here. And if I press Option and zoom in, might be Alt, might be Control, depending upon what system you're using, you're gonna have to sort of play around with that. Use the scroll wheel on my mouse. I can zoom in. I can also press the spacebar button to move or pan around the canvas. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pause this, and I'm gonna come back once I have finished colorizing the entirety of the project. So give me just a minute. Once you've finished everything right here, and I'll zoom out so that you can see what I'm talking about. Once you have all of the red there, you might notice that what looked like white actually appears sort of yellowish. You can sort of see right in here. It's possible that the white of the jersey is reflecting off of the floor of the court, or maybe the lights in the stadium are yellow. And so you might actually want to keep some aspects of this project white or black and white, grayscale. And so in that case, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my white color as my foreground, and I'll take a small brush, and I'm just going to sort of paint. I'm going to paint the mask back in right there. You'll notice that I accidentally had the mask selected instead of, the layer adjustment selected instead of the mask. So right here, I'm going to go make sure that the opacity of my brush is set to 100, and I'm just going to color that back in, and I just want that grayscale to be applied to this area that looks a little bit yellowed. And so as you're working on your project, you'll be able to see that as you go, and it'll just make everything look a little bit nicer and cleaner. All right, so once you're done with that, we're going to go ahead and we're going to save our project. We're going to save it two ways. We're going to save it as a PSD, like so, and we're going to call it, I already have it saved right here. So if I go to my graphics folder, August, we'll call it Selective Coloring.psd, and then we're going to save it or export it as a JPEG. And so this is a common image file format that we're going to be using frequently throughout the semester. Quality wise, we're going to set it to 70%. We'll hit save. We'll give it the same name. We'll know it's different based on the file extension .psd versus .jpg. I'll go ahead. We'll hit save in our August folder, and that will be it. That'll be the end of the project. So go ahead, submit that, and you're done.